Hello everybody, Artifact Molotov here, and we're talking about how Fluffals can take on what I believe to be the top 5 decks in our meta right now. And the reason I'm doing this is because even though this format is on the verge of ending, basically this format is low-key starting to become the never-ending format we were in for like 8 months. But that's a whole nother video discussion, so without any further ado, let's get into it. At number 5, I have Invoked Windwitch. Invoked Windwitch Draco, Windwitch Invoked Artifacts, all its variants are at number 5. And that's because this deck has lots of insane, easy recurrent plays with Invocation, and a lot of the Invokes can just act as boss monsters while you use Crystal Wing. And you could let them die and then just let Crystal Wing take shit over. Like, I tested out Windwitch Invoked before a Link format, like back towards the end of June, and it's not dead. I can guarantee that to you guys, and I wasn't even running the Spellbook engine there at the time. Therefore, it's not dead. Nowhere near. Nowhere near the stage of dead. But anyways, Fluffals, I feel have a pretty good matchup against this deck. Considering that Invoked is a deck that I felt was known, that has always been known for controlling the board. But I say once you bait out that Invoked Merkaba, or that Crystal Wing that you're currently going against, I feel that you have a pretty good time. So maybe a Kaiju side in your Fluffle deck, in order to be able to deal with Invoked, should be able to take care of that Crystal Wing that can't be killed by shit. As long as Crystal Wing doesn't hit the field and you reach a scenario where you don't have a Kaiju, you need a Kaiju in order to get over that Crystal Wing, because Crystal Wing can overpower all of your monsters in battle and negate all of your monster effects. Therefore, you need a way of accessing the Kaiju in this format for Fluffles in a Fluffle deck in order to be able to get over the Crystal Wing. So, and depending on which type of Fluffle deck you play, if you're playing like the Shadal version of the deck, then I play Kamungus in the side. But overall, 3 Gamasio I feel should suffice for your troubles. 3 Gamasio in the side deck. Because your Fluffle Fusions, all of them should be able to attack over Gamasio. And same thing goes for Merkaba. And you can do this on Raijin, the guy that I'm using to represent this thumbnail over here. Invoked Raijin is also easily baitable. And here's the thing about him. He doesn't technically do anything to Fluffles, because Fluffles can keep on fusion summon. And even if you put their shit face down, Link Shogun. And it doesn't even matter. Fluffles are just easy to OTK with. I mean, as long as you manage to steer clear of an Ash Blossom, I say you're just fine. Ghost Ogre doesn't really do anything to the deck. Veiler, I mean, really. Who the fuck uses Veiler anymore? Maxi, I say, is the only other hand trap that you have to watch out for when playing Fluffles. You only go all out, and if your opponent uses Maxi, if you know you're going to finish them off that turn. Because if you don't, your opponent will finish you off on their next turn before you can get any more advantage over them. But overall, I feel that they have a pretty good matchup against Windwitch Invoke this format. With the proper side deck, that is. When main decks a couple of Twin Twisters in order to bait out some fucking artifacts and True Draco trap cards, then I say you're pretty good. The only thing I feel you have to have quite precision over is your Twin Twisters blowing up an artifact Scythe, because Scythe completely destroys your deck. I mean, it wipes the floor with you. And on top of that, you have to be careful what back row you're nuking, because you don't know if you're going to be nuking a True King's Return or a True Draco Apocalypse. Cards that can blow up your monsters with ease. So you have to steer clear from that. So watch your back, but you don't really know if you're going against the true Draco variant or if you're going against the which invoked artifact variant. More than not likely, you're gonna go against the Draco variant. No one's really using artifacts right now, well, aside from me. But yeah, lots of competitive players aren't really touching upon the artifacts like they used to, since this is a true Draco meta. So this is a chance for Fluffles to sneak some wins in there. Number 4, I have Trick Stars. I believe for right now, for the remainder of this format, Trick Stars are going to be the 4th best deck. And I'm going to go into simple reasoning behind that. The Droll and Lockbird FTK. If they open up that shit on you, just scoop. Don't even waste your time with the game. If they can manage to resolve that FTK consistently, they deserve the win. Just give it to them. Don't even waste your time with the game because you're just going to lose anyway. They'll probably use their reincarnations in order to bring back their Condinas and Licorices in order to just flat out OTK your sorry ass. So, yeah. Fluffals. The problem with Fluffals is that a lot of their interactions are during the main phase. They can't really have any interactions in the other phases. I mean, they have main phase 1, main phase 2, and battle phase. That's it. I mean, the deck doesn't have any real built-in negations. It did at one point, but when Norton got fucking banned, and when Link Summoning was fucking announced, that's when it all got fucked up for this deck. Now, this deck has basically been reduced to what Yuki Nono's Power Bond Cyber Dragons have been reduced to. It's just OTK all the time. You can't try to make a turn 1 board with your OTK anymore. You either have to go all into your turn 1 field in order to have multiple negates on your board, in order to have a negate on your board, or you have to OTK. And with Fluffles and Vipers, you obviously want to OTK all the time. And because once your opponent gets the chance to break your board, they're going to take it and they're going to break it. Most likely. Because a lot of newer cards out here, are just way faster than the Fluffle stuff. Way faster and way stronger. So anyways, let's go on to number 3. Overall, I say that, it's the same with Fluffles as it is with most decks against Trick Stars. If they open up the Droll and Lockbird FTK, you're fucking done. Unless if you have the right cards in your hand at the right time. So yeah. It's the same with most decks. There's only a few amount of decks such as my Heralds, Monarchs, and Stellar Knights that can actually get over Trick Stars pretty easily. Because of the way that I play the decks. And Monarchs just inherently easily bait out Trick Stars since they have easy access to Majesties and Vanities, thus Trick Stars can't complete their combo. You can easily side deck Droll and Lockbird and Monarchs. And Heralds just fuck over everything. Let's get that out of the way. Herald of Perfection is the strongest boss sponsor of all time. But yeah. Fluffles, I feel that Fluffles have the same possibility of being Trick Stars as do Cyber Dragons, which, if Trick Stars go first, is not much, but if you manage to go first and set up your board, I say it's pretty easy to do. So, on to number 3. You knew this one was coming, right? Now, number 3 spot, Zodiac. This deck is gonna be nowhere near where it was before. Nowhere fucking near. But it's still gonna be the 3rd best deck of the format. When Link Summoning was intended to make Dinos the best deck, Zoo is still up there. How ironic. But yeah, Fluffles have a much better matchup against Zoo now. Much better. Like, basically, against Zoo, you have to run cards like Twin Twisters against Zoo because they just need one card to go off, so more than not likely, they're just going to see like 2 ways to get to Zoo cards in their hand. The rest of their cards are going to be quick play spell tech cards like My Body as a Shield or fucking Solemn Strike. So you need to have Twin Twisters in order to clear that shit out before you start going into your plays. Is to be honest, because a strike can just simply fuck your shit up. Like no other. And Zodiac Dryden is actually pretty baitable. Dryden is like not that broken anymore. It really ain't. I'm not gonna lie. And now the first advantage that you have over Zoo automatically as a Fluffle player is that Fry for Tiger does not target when he blows shit up. Therefore, Zodiac Camericon can't do anything to protect. He can't do anything to protect your Dryden from his pop effect. And the only mere price you'll have to pay, more than not likely, is that Dryden is going to detach in order to pop your Tiger. And if you manage to have enough cards in your hand to make another fusion to get more plays going again, you'll be able to recur your resources all over again. And then you'll basically blow up the Zoo player's board. And if Solemn Strike gets semi-limited, then that's going to end up being much better for Fluffles. Because they're kind of weak against cards like Solemn Strike, Warding, that counter shit. Oh man, I love counter traps though. So seeing Strike go to 2, it's gonna hurt, but I love I love counter fairies. You guys know how I feel about my fairies. But yeah, Fools have a very easy Zoo matchup now that Link Summoning's out. At least Fluffles actually has combos in Link format that have very high ceiling. The Zoo combos don't go too high on their ceiling. I say the main threat you have to worry about is Whiptail. Yeah, Whiptail, and that's about it. And not even the whole trick is to make sure that there are absolutely no Zoo XYZ monsters on the board when you're attacking with a Tiger, because your opponent could have a Whiptail in hand and not tell you anything, obviously, and they could be keeping it until surprise Whiptail, and then your monster gets banished while their monster just flat out dies. When they're just gonna get all their cards back with that trap card that allows you to put 5 Zoo, banish itself from grave, put 5 Zoos back in your deck, and draw 1 card. Main deck or extra deck, to be specific. But yeah, very easy Zoo matchup. I'm not even gonna lie. Fluffles can crush Zodiac now. And now this is where things go from being peaches and creams to getting nice and salty. True Kings in general. Whether it's True King Yang Zings without the dinos or True King Dino Yang Zings. Check out Team Kingdom Games if you want to see some True King Yang Zing spice. But this guy right here, Lithosagum the Disaster, or Lithosagum the Disaster, whatever the fuck you want to call him. This guy wrecks your deck hard. This is where you start feeling a disadvantage with Fluffles in the current meta. This is when you need to main deck hand traps. Like Veiler or Baxi or shit like that. Because this guy can simply fuck your shit over, because this guy allows you to look through your extra deck and banish up to 3 monsters from it with different names. Oh wow, I didn't know that it said different names. I was always nervous that all my triggers would get banished with him, but now I know. So yeah, the best way to work around this is to main deck hand traps that allow you to negate his effect, like Veiler, Maxi, card, and yeah, cards that allow you to get over him in general. If you're going first, Forbidden Chalice and shit like that. Or you could side deck, what was the name of it? Mind Drain. Yeah. You can side deck Mind Drain too, because you don't have any monster effects that really activate in hand. I mean, you do have monster effects that activate in hand, but it's a mere price to pay for you to be able to lock out True Kings in general. Would I sacrifice my Fluffle Bear play in order to be able to get to Toy Vendor, in order to be able to lock out True Kings altogether? Hell yeah. I'll take a few L's in order to make my opponent take a one big fat L in that duel. So, yeah, it's not really something that Fluffles have an advantage over. Yeah, they're pretty weak against this deck, sadly. And now the last dipshit of the day. True Draco. True Draco is one of these decks is like, ugh, why you even exist? Again, this is the ultimate insult right here. Because Masterpiece ends games against Fluffles. You have to be side decking an entire fucking kaiju engine in order to be able to consistently see a kaiju against Masterpiece. And compared to the overall consistency of Fluffles and True Draco, Fluffles don't even fucking compare when it comes to consistency. Fluffles overall, in my opinion, are consistent, but I feel even with patchwork, they are nowhere near the consistency level of full power True Draco. Overall. So, conclusion said, if you're... So, now let's end, because overall, the matchups, the top two decks are not matchups that Fluffles really favor right now. So, yeah, in conclusion, if you know that the locals you go to has a lot of zoo or a lot of Windwitch invoked for the most part, which I doubt is the only thing everybody's going to be playing, then you can run Fluffles. But I say until this format ends, where True Draco and True King Dinos get hit, inevitably get hit in the list, Fluffles are not really the best thing to play right now. Shoutouts to Fluffle Stefan Incorporated, he inspired me to do this video. It's Artifact Mall Talk, signing out. Have a nice day, everyone. Peace out.